Welcome to Tales from the Abyss, where we dive deep into the darkest corners of human imagination and uncover the most chilling, spine-tingling stories from the unknown. If you're a fan of horror and suspense, you're in the right place. Sit back, turn off the lights, and prepare to be haunted as we bring you another terrifying tale that will keep you awake at night. The Cursed Well. No one dared approach it, for those who heard her cry were marked for death. The villagers had grown accustomed to avoiding the well and warned outsiders to stay away. But their warnings only served to intrigue Akshay, a journalist from the city. Known for his obsession with uncovering supernatural phenomena, Akshay decided this legend would make for the perfect story to catapult his career to fame. Ignoring the villagers' frightened pleas, he ventured into the heart of the forest, determined to uncover the truth behind the eerie legend of the Blood Well. Akshay reached the well at the stroke of midnight, under a pale full moon. The air was still, unnaturally quiet, as though the forest itself was holding its breath. The well was ancient, its stone walls covered in moss and strange, unfamiliar markings. Akshay set up his camera, muttering to himself about superstition. At first he heard nothing but the sound of his own breathing and the distant rustle of leaves. As he leaned over the edge, peering into its abyss, a faint, haunting cry reached his ears. It was a woman's voice, trembling with sorrow and rage. Akshay's heart raced, but he dismissed it as the wind playing tricks. He clicked a few photographs and prepared to leave, but suddenly the cry grew louder, transforming into a guttural laugh that chilled him to his core. But as he leaned over the edge, Pulsey turned upon a laugh and then performed a spin-sweep turn and laugh to see his heart raced, but he dared not turn back. Voice of a man whispering in his ear. The man had always felt bad for him. Then out of nowhere, he felt sharp, searing pain on his arms, as though invisible claws were raking his skin. Terrified, Akshay stumbled back to the village, his arms bleeding from deep claw marks. The villagers gasped in horror when they saw him. "You've been marked," an elder whispered, his voice trembling. Akshay brushed off their warnings, convinced he could rationalize what had happened. But as the days passed, his confidence waned. He began to notice strange occurrences. His reflection in mirrors grew distorted, showing the pale, gaunt version of himself. He heard whispers in his ears, even when he was alone, and his dreams were haunted by a woman with glowing red eyes and a twisted smile. Each night, she appeared to him, standing at the foot of his bed, her voice dripping with malice as she called his name. Akshay grew paranoid and weak, his health deteriorating rapidly. The once bright journalist now looked like a shadow of his former self. The villagers, desperate to save him, decided to perform an ancient ritual to break the curse. The villagers gathered at the temple at dawn, carrying Akshay's trembling body. The elder priest prepared for the ritual, chanting prayers in a language long forgotten. A circle of salt was drawn around Akshay, and incense filled the air. The villagers watched in tense silence as the priest began the ceremony. But as the prayers grew louder, so did the whispers. Akshay's body convulsed violently, and his screams echoed through the temple. The air turned heavy, and a chilling presence filled the room. The villagers saw her Hankeldar, the vampiric spirit from the well. Her eyes burned like embers, and her smile was grotesque. "He belongs to me," she hissed, her voice reverberating with unearthly power. The priest faltered, and the ritual collapsed into chaos. The spirit laughed as the villagers fled in terror. When the dust settled, Akshay was gone. All that remained was his notebook, lying open on the temple floor, filled with sketches of the vampiric woman in cryptic words repeating, "The well calls." The villagers sealed the well, hoping to bury the curse forever. But the legend of the blood well persisted. Those brave or foolish enough to approach the forest claimed they could still hear Akshay's desperate cries echoing in the dead of night. Over time, the village of Verkot faded from memory, its people abandoning it out of fear. Yet the well remained, hidden deep within the forest, waiting for its next victim. Travelers and thrill seekers who dared to venture near would find themselves inexplicably drawn to its cursed depths,